Hello, readers. I hope you all are doing great and keeping safe and reading a lot of books. In today's video, I'm bringing you another amazing book which I read some time back, and it's about Partition. So, if you are someone who is interested in reading a book like this, then make sure you watch this video until the very end to know everything about this book. The book which I'm going to talk about in today's video is Liminal Tides, written by author Soumitra Banerjee. Book is quite thick, around over 300 pages, but it definitely guarantees you the engagement, the gripping thing when you read this book. So one thing you can be sure while reading this book is that you are going to be totally immersed in the stories of Partition, and you won't be able to stop reading it until you finish this book. This book majorly chronicles the lives of three families, the Bandyopadhyayas, the Rawats, and the Khanna family, who are each struggling in their own ways amidst this whole chaos of partition, and they are totally oblivious about what's going to happen with their lives. The fate of their lives is totally unknown to them. I must say that all the characters, like the family and their characters, everything has been developed so much in detail. So you actually get to read this novel totally in depth with the characters, their stories, and their emotions, like whatever they are facing while all of this chaos is going on in their lives. Personally, I like reading books like these that are very detailed, that give me a glimpse of the characters in a way that I'm able to really put myself in their shoes, and I am able to understand their lives better. I do not like books with shallow characters. I do not like books that give me a very little detail about the character and the story. So books like this that really go much into detail about the character, about the plot, is much appreciated by me. There's this character Satyendra Singh Rawat who loses his father in a protest which was actually supposed to be very peaceful. And to make a name for himself, he has to leave his land, and to continue his further studies, he decides that he'll settle with his older brother. Another character from this book is Mulkraj Khanna, who is an entrepreneur, and he has to leave his land behind, and he goes to places, and in this whole journey he comes across many events that are very inhumane in nature, and he just has this one hope to meet his family once again. Talking about the third character, who is Subendu from Bandyopadhyay's family, he actually loses both his parents, and his father actually had a very important role to play in the society. He actually did a lot for the people, for the betterment of their lives, and so you can just imagine how horrifying it must be for him to actually lose both of his parents. From a brief description about all these three characters, you can already assume that how their stories are somehow similar, because all of this is happening amidst the protest for partition, amidst all the chaos that's happening around, and everyone has lost something, and everyone is struggling to have a peaceful and a happy life, which is something that seems very impossible at the moment. So throughout this journey, they all will find their lives very entangled with a lot of uncertainty, of course, and all these situations will somehow force them to be a better person, to change something in themselves, and in this whole process something definitely is going to change within all of them. I do not need to actually describe how horrifying it is to read something when it comes to partition literature. I have personally read quite a few books around that time, and every time I read something about partition, it always leaves me very shattered, and I cannot even imagine what must have happened with people who were actually present at that time. So it's always a very soul shattering experience for me, and I think the author actually described it so beautifully, like you actually get to see how Indian families are truly, and the culture they represent, and how they behave so well with each other. But definitely there are people who are so lured by greed, and they do things that they might even regret later on. So Partition time, I think, is all about that how in the craziest of times people can lose their sense of reality and do things that are only going to result in their downfall. Also a lot to learn, like a lot of life lessons you will actually get to read through this fictional tale. And I think that was the best part about this book, because I like such stories that also teach me something while I'm reading them. And there's actually so much to take away from this book, because it shows you that how people actually behave in the crisis and how people actually act around you when you are left with nothing. So I think messages like these, like the subtle messages, are all embedded in this story here and there. And I think readers who like to explore the stories of partition, who like to read the dynamics of families, I think they will definitely enjoy reading this book. The book is available on Amazon, and if you feel like you would really enjoy this, I think you should give it a try and read it, and also do share your opinion with me once you read it. I'll see you in the upcoming videos. Until next time, take care and keep reading.